Tonight's headlines: Duterte not shielding allies. The Philippines wants no part in US-China power struggle. Makabayan officials deny links with CPP-NPA. Coronavirus cases in the country at 421,722. Tiangge owners warned on COVID protocols. Tail end of frontal system to affect Visayas. Philippine shares retreat on profit taking. And Peso extends appreciation streak on vaccine hopes. Good evening. Today is Tuesday, November 24, 2020. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. Malacanang on Tuesday defended President Rodrigo Duterte's decision not to identify the lawmaker suspected of being involved in corruption, arguing that it was not meant to shield his political allies. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque explained that the list of corrupt congressmen from the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission involves those who supposedly get kickbacks from rigged biddings for government projects that favored contractors to win. To recall, Duterte did not hint at the identity of the lawmakers who allegedly received kickbacks from some contractors of government projects when he brought up the matter during his weekly public address on Monday. The president also said he was not in a position to investigate lawmakers because they belong to a separate branch of government, even as the PACC had already received reports that some members of Congress wielded influence over the selection of district engineers and contractors. The former government prosecutor Duterte said reports about lawmakers allegedly engaged in corrupt activities should be investigated by the Office of the Ombudsman, the country's anti-graft body. The Philippines does not want to take part in a power struggle between the US and China, according to Malacanang on Tuesday, after Beijing accused Washington of creating chaos in Asia. China's accusation follows US National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien's trip to Manila, where he underscored American commitment to Taiwan and told the Philippines and Vietnam, countries both locked in a maritime row with China, that they've got our back. China considers Taiwan a renegade province, while the latter has been asserting recognition of its sovereignty. China's embassy in Manila, meantime, said that O'Brien shows that his visit to this region is not to promote regional peace and stability, but to create chaos in the region in order to seek selfish interests of the US. It added that the United States should stop inciting confrontation in the South China Sea and stop making irresponsible remarks on Taiwan and Hong Kong issues, which are purely China's internal affairs. Several former and current party list lawmakers categorically denied on Tuesday that they are members of the Communist Party of the Philippines and its armed wing, the New People's Army, but refused to condemn the atrocities committed by communist rebels in different parts of the country. While Bayan Muna Representative Carlos Zarate, Kabataan Party List Representative Sara Ilago, and former Bayan Muna Representative Nery Colmenares belied allegations that they were sitting as legal fronts of the communist movement, Bagong Alyansang Makabayan spokesperson Teddy Casinos said communist insurgents should not be considered as state enemies. Senator Panfilo Lacson, on the other hand, said he could not reconcile while some lawmakers who were elected into office and now part of the government could not stand with state forces in condemning NPA atrocities. Communications Undersecretary Lorraine Badoy chimed in, saying it was alarming that some government officials refused to denounce the communist rebels' illegal acts. Discussions on the issue were suspended as the Senate session hall had to be disinfected shortly before the chamber's plenary session. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Viber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can I get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slide, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... cancel ko sa Lipa? Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami
Call
mag-deliver.
to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
The Department of Health reported 1,118 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Tuesday to bring the total number of infections in the country to 421,722. Caloocan City tallied the highest number of new reported cases at 89, followed by Davao City with 52, Laguna with 52, Quezon Province with 47, and Quezon City with 46. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 386,792 after 196 patients recovered from the respiratory disease. The death toll is now at 8,185 with 12 new fatalities recorded. The remaining 26,745 are active cases undergoing treatment or quarantine, 83.7% of which are mild, 7.9% are asymptomatic, 2.8% are severe, and 5.3% are in critical condition. Vaccine czar Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. earlier said the Philippines was in talks with 3 COVID-19 vaccine manufacturers to secure 60 million doses by 2021. In other news, the palace warned Tiangge owners to implement the minimum public health standards to prevent the spread of COVID-19, or else the government will close their stalls. This comes after shoppers recently packed the streets of Divisoria in Manila and Baclaran in Parañaque to beat the Christmas rush, with physical distancing precautions completely ignored. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said that certain entry and exit points should be established in the said areas and that its management should control the crowd. He also appealed to the public to follow the health protocols such as social distancing and wearing of masks and face shields. Roque stressed that while Filipinos can still celebrate Christmas, there should be an understanding that the COVID-19 pandemic is still in the country. State Weather Bureau Pagasa on Tuesday announced that the tail end of a frontal system will be affecting the eastern sections of Visayas and southern Luzon, while the northeast monsoon will affect the rest of Luzon. In its 24-hour forecast, the Weather Bureau said the tail end of a frontal system, or the shear line, will bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over the Bicol region, western and eastern Visayas, northern Mindanao, Davao region, and Caraga. Pagasa advised affected residents to prepare for possible flash floods or landslides due to light to moderate with at times heavy rains. Meanwhile, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers will prevail over Palawan, Central Visayas, and the rest of Mindanao due to localized thunderstorms or easterlies. Flash floods or landslides are also possible during severe thunderstorms, according to Pagasa. Metro Manila and the rest of Luzon will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains due to the northeast monsoon. Sunrise is at 6:02 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:24 p.m. We'll pause for a short break. Stay with us.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kaming natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May, nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
Yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
In business, Philippine share prices closed in the red on Tuesday as market players cashed in on gains after the local stock barometer hit a fresh 8-month high. The bellwether PSEI shed 69.95 points or 0.97% to 7,108.67 at the closing bell. The broader all shares lost 25.71 points or 0.60% to 4,228.55. AAA Equities Head of Research Chris Mangun said that the PSEI ended with substantial losses as selling pressure picked up, which was to be expected as it hovered around its 8-month high. Foreign funds bought 5.216 billion peso shares and sold 5.837 billion pesos for a net selling position of 621.19 million pesos. More than 8.273 billion shares valued at 12.95 billion pesos changed hands. Decliners led advancers 134 to 110 and 40 issues were unchanged. And the Philippine peso extended its appreciation against its U.S. counterpart on Tuesday on continued optimism on vaccine against the COVID-19 pandemic. The local currency gained 6 centavos to close at 48 pesos and 145 centavos to a dollar versus Monday's finish of 48 pesos and 205 centavos to a dollar. AstraZeneca earlier became the latest major drug maker to report an effectivity rate at 90%. With the U.S. health regulators expected to approve the distribution of Pfizer Incorporated's vaccine by the middle of December. Land Bank of the Philippines market economist Gian Angelo Dumalagan explained that the local currency appreciated following positive vaccine developments and a news about a possible appointment of former Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen as U.S. Treasury Secretary. On Wall Street, stocks receive a boost after it was reported that U.S. President-elect Joe Biden plans to nominate Yellen to be the next Treasury Secretary. That wraps up the stories tonight. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Carcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store on Viber and search for Katribu. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM store for my shirts and jacket this evening. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night and God bless us all.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pong pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.
Click, click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the Ring Ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now.
Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.